right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to episode 18 of Hot Joe and the Ranko Show. It's March 5th. It's 44 degrees outside the weather window. Having a little coffee this morning, no camera too. I got to get to work early today, so editing is going to be at a minimum. So we're still here in Tennessee. We're recovering from the tornadoes that happened here in Nashville, and I'll tell you what, everybody's really getting out and getting involved, and it's really cool to see. I was headed to Home Depot to get some stuff for my job that I was working yesterday, and there was just a line of Elliott crane trucks, little box crane trucks, and there was probably 100 of them parked outside the Home Depot getting ready to head out to Nashville to get the power back on and all that kind of stuff. So that was really cool to see, and a lot of stuff on Facebook of people volunteering and just helping clean up. And so just really interesting, fun stories to read. But on Tuesday, that's when I covered that tornado. I was going to do the coronavirus because that's been something that's been on the radar. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. So I'm checking out Facebook too, just to see what everybody's posting about. So this whole coronavirus thing has been blown completely out of proportion. I was watching the news this morning and they're like, coronavirus pandemic, more deaths, death toll rises. It's 150, as of this morning, CDC said 150 confirmed cases and 11 deaths. 11 deaths. That's terrible. Don't get me wrong. That's terrible. 11 deaths is not a pandemic, is not a need to open the show with these huge statistics and charts and graphs and how we're all going to die. And, you got to, it's ridiculous. So, they start, that's their lead story, and they have a health expert come on and stuff. And I think, here's the deal. Out of those 11 people, the majority of them were elderly that had preconditions of respiratory issues, which is what this virus is. It's a respiratory virus. And so everybody is freaking out about people passing away and dying. And I'm like, unfortunately, it's mostly elderly people that are already sick. They said right now, for some reason, children, there's like almost no kids that are getting this because I guess their immune systems are chucking along and whatever. But some of the stuff I've seen too, it's on what was it on? Yeah, on Amazon, they were talking about how like the price of masks and hand sanitizer has gone through the roof. That they're price gouging, and there's like hand sanitizer bottles that are selling for like $150. You can get soap and wash your hands with hot water, and you can get a bar of soap for 50 cents or something. So, the main thing is you got to wash your hands. You got to don't touch your face all the time. And that was part of the thing. One of the things in the article they were saying was people are buying all these masks, and they're like, it's really probably not going to help you because depending on what type of mask it is, the virus can still get through it. And most people aren't wearing their mask correctly anyway. So a lot of people are constantly adjusting their masks and touching their face. Well, if you have virus on your hands and you're touching your face and your mouth and around, you're probably more likely going to transmit the virus by doing that. Another interesting thing that I thought of and that I later read was your cell phone. Make sure you disinfect that sucker because you're touching everything, and you're touching your phone, and then you're putting your phone right on your face. So you might want to get you some antiseptic wipes if you're really worried about this, and wipe your phone off. Also, this virus is not new. Everybody's like, it's an engineered virus that's come out, and the virus has been around for a good long while. I was trying to think what else. So when I see people, the fear mongering, it is stupid. But then I was at Home Depot again to get stuff, and I thought, I'm going to go conduct a little experiment. So walked over to the cleaning aisle. They usually at Home Depot have 5 or 6 different hand sanitizers. They have the little ones. They've got huge jugs for like businesses, and whole aisle completely empty. Hey guys, hand sanitizer is not going to save your life. Again, you can wash your hands, wash your face, sanitize things. The part that really upsets me more than anything is the political side of this crap. So, you can't blame the president for causing coronavirus. He didn't invent it. He didn't do it. But you have everybody who's taking a chance to use this as a political platform, that if they were president or if they did this or blah, blah, blah. And it's like, people, this is a health issue. It's not a political issue. Stop. You're being stupid. A certain candidate put out a big long ad talking about how if he was president, what he would have done differently and how he would have done this. And then, of course, he claimed a bunch of stuff about 9/11 that was completely untrue, that he had no responsibility over and wasn't even doing anything. So my point is, stop taking health things and trying to tweak this political thing into it. That seems to be the new thing, is everything that happens, there's somebody to blame for it politically, and there's a reason that it's happening. It's like, no, this is how nature works. There's viruses and they spread, and when people are in contact and all that kind of stuff. Now, I've always felt that airplanes are a petri dish, and I don't enjoy flying anyway, because when I'm sitting in that plane and I hear people coughing and hacking and everything, I'm just like, oh great, that's just getting sucked up and then blown through that nice little nozzle just right back at me. So usually if I have to travel, I just drive or I ride my motorcycle. But there's things you can do to protect yourself. If you get off a plane, go wash your hands, go, try not to touch everything on the plane also. And again, washing your phone's probably a good idea. That's probably a good idea anyway, just to keep you from getting the flu, which is, terrible in its own right. But so far, this COVID-19 coronavirus is, hold on, I was trying to find out my time. What are we up to? 8 minutes. Is not nearly as severe as they're making it out to be. And a lot of people, I think they said 80% show little or no signs, and then it just goes away. So let's stop freaking out, and let's stop making political statements and all that. And if you have someone who's elderly, maybe just give them a little extra advice on washing their hands and all that kind of stuff. Another thing that I got to thinking about while I was watching all this hysteria created by the media, the fact that people are buying up hand sanitizer and out of every store and masks out of every store, and now there's price gouging. It just goes to show how the media knows what they're doing, and they know how to manipulate us. So not that far back in the past, here in Tennessee, there was a gas pipeline that had a leak in it, so they had to shut down the production or whatever. And so everybody's like, there's not going to be any gas. There's no gas. Well, all the service stations had plenty of gas, and the pipeline that was broken down didn't even service where we lived. So the media's like, gas crisis, blah, blah, blah. Well, in all of that, just like this coronavirus, it was self-created. They whipped everybody into hysteria. So guess what happened? Everybody drove to the gas station, filled up gas cans, because people are selfish, and they filled up all their gas cans and filled up their trucks and cars and all that stuff. And guess what happened? There was a gas shortage when there was no shortage of gas, because people don't understand how commerce works. that each one of these little gas stations, they order their gas, like this gas station orders on a Thursday. This one gets their gas on a Friday. This one gets theirs on a Tuesday. And they order a certain amount of gas because they know how much gas they sell. And so when everybody and their mama goes to the gas station to fill up because the news says gas shortage. Well, guess what? They just created a gas shortage when there wasn't a gas shortage. So obviously all those companies had to catch up and bring in extra trucks and try to, anyway, that's what's going on with the media right now with this coronavirus. They are self-creating panic so that people will freak out. And it's just irresponsible and stupid in my opinion. Sorry, I just had to add that. Other than that, I think we're at 9 minutes. I've just been watching all the tornado stuff, so I'm feel so bad, and some of my buddies are still without power, so hopefully they said in a lot of the areas they would have the power back on by hopefully Friday, but a lot of people aren't going to get power for a long time. Some of these neighborhoods are completely wiped out, so there's nothing to power, and basically just going to have to completely bulldoze and rebuild. So just say some prayers for the folks and for all the workers and everybody that's out there. Please stop freaking out over the coronavirus, and I got to get to work, so I will see you on Tuesday next week. Y'all have a good weekend. Love you guys, and as my pops used to say, you can't soar with eagles if you hang out with turkeys. Have a great day.